We just talked a little bit about digital twins and simulation, but you also spoke about real-time synchronization between the real and physical world and how that could enable teleportation or traveling to the past or the future or even a modified future. You want to tell folks about this?
We do more on the internet than just entertain ourselves, than just socialize. We use the internet for work. We use the internet to build things. We use the internet to operate our companies and machinery and all kinds of stuff. And a key thing that we need for the metaverse to be useful for all these other things is a link back to this reality, the one that we're in. If you can make that link happen between the real world and this form of the internet, then you get these superpowers I was talking about. So the way I think about it, the first one you get is kind of the no-brainer one is teleportation. If I have a factory like the one we've been showing in a lot of our GTC keynotes, the BMW one, and you have this link where the state of your factory, all of the joint angles of every robot that's operating in the factory, the position of the conveyor belt, where all the poses of the humans that are in the factory, you can gather all of that information and quickly send it to the metaverse, to the digital twin, to the virtual version of that thing, and have it match close enough, then effectively anybody who has access to that virtual version will be teleporting to that factory. They can go experience that factory, assuming that the simulation, including the rendering and the physics and everything that's happening there matches. It's kind of the same thing. And if you can record that state, the state of the factory over time, then you get the ability to essentially rewind. You can jump back to the past to whatever you have recorded that's still stored in your storage. And so now you get some kind of time travel. If you want to go debug your factory, there was a problem somewhere in the line. Anyone who has access to that anywhere in the world can go back in time and go see what happened. But it gets really, really powerful when you have a simulator that's accurate enough to predict the future for the things that you care about. So for the factory, if you can make a simulator that would predict that you're going to have a failure a minute from now, then now you have the potential to peer into the future. And if you can do that simulation faster than real time, faster than our time out here, then you can run many possible simulations in that same period of time. And you can do experiments. You can say, well, what if I tweak my factory around? I change the speeds and feeds of the conveyor belts, of my robot configurations, the amount of energy I'm using. How can I optimize for energy, for human safety, for all these other things? And I can search for the best possible future and go implement that one instead of just waiting for whatever to happen before I know, before you actually implement it in real life. That pattern, I think, applies to just about everything. If you can reflect the real world, whatever it is, whether it's the whole Earth, whatever it is, if you can reflect it accurately enough, you can make that link between the real world and the virtual one, and you can create a great simulator that can be accurate enough in its predictions, then you gain all of these amazing superpowers.
Yeah, and absolutely. That's a fascinating perspective. And I think what you guys are showing tells us that it's around the corner.